this was a place for everyone. It came from a cornfield. It came in a place where everyone from all over the city could bike or hike or drive to get there.
For 60 years, that's been the focal point of families getting together, children to have positive outdoor fun, and to share time with their family and their friends.
In the early 1950s, Geneseo was a growing community. Instead of a city pool, families would swim in the Hennepin Canal.
The canal is just a great place. I mean, we canoed, we swam there, I swam there. Kay McKenzie was the teacher for the Girl Scouts. And we'd walk over and have lessons, and it was great. That's all I knew.
Well, as a young child in Geneseo, we learned to swim at the Hennepin Canal, where the Isaac Walton League is now. And that was the best place we had to swim. There was a nice sand beach there. So when the story got out and the news got out that we were going to have an actual outdoor pool that we could swim in right in town, you know, that would be clean and clear, and we could sit around there and have diving boards and all that, and it was an exciting thing.
The pool project was guided by a local optometrist, Dr. Giff Zimmerman.
Giff had so many visions. He was always thinking and always planning ahead, and he was a one-man dynamo. And he dreamed up this idea and followed through with it, and really he was such an asset to our community.
Mr. Holding owned the property east of the light plant, and he used it for growing his seed corn. And Giffy must have talked to Ed Holding and said that would be a great idea if you would donate that land for the swimming pool right next to the light plant, and good location. And Mr. Holding agreed, and so the project was underway.
My parents and a lot of their friends and people of that generation, the community leaders of that time, just rallied around the idea that we can do this for our community and for our kids and for our families. Since my two brothers and I wanted to be part of that, we got engaged and we said, we're going to help raise some money too. So we would sneak around with our bicycles up and down the alleys at Geneseo looking for empty pop bottles.
The swimming pool committee broke ground in March of 1953, and construction began shortly after. To the tune of $57,000, along with in-kind donations, the city pool opened on Sunday, June 28, 1953.
It was wonderful because it brought the community together. Everybody came to the new pool. It brought people from surrounding areas, Cambridge, Atkinson. I mean, this was a big thing.
In the early 50s, the swimming pool was the focal point of every young person in Geneseo. And we'd put on our swimming trunks, get on a bike, and ride over. As a result, you couldn't take a wallet. Kids back then didn't have wallets.
We kind of had our baby oil and iodine on, and it was a big deal to be the first one off the diving board. That was a big deal. If you were the first one at 1 o'clock to get in there and get out there fast, because there was always a line for the diving board. On the north end of the pool at that time, one low board and one high board, and it was cool to be the first one to go off that board.
From 1953 to 1978, the pool served Geneseo and surrounding communities. While the bathhouse remained in its current state, the pool shell underwent a major renovation in 1979.
But I remember being a kid, we had people that worked in the bathhouse, and you had your baskets and you checked in your baskets. You got a pin that you wore. You would put your pin on your towel or on your swimsuit somewhere. You had rules as far as how many times you could check out your basket. So you have to go in there, you always want to go get your money so you get something from the concession stand.
When the time came, once again the people of Geneseo came together to improve the quality of life for families and kids.
A large part of that project at that time was a community fundraising effort to help support the expansion of the pool and the repair of the pool. 1979, there were significant leaks in the bottom of the pool. It was leaking water, there were cracks in the concrete. It had reached its age, it had aged out, because when you fill it and drain it every year and then it sits empty during the winter time, the weather's tough on it. So there were major structural problems with the pool at that time. Plus it was way inadequate in size.
Right when the new pool was completed, we had a beautiful new pool, and they'd painted lanes on the bottom, but we had nobody swimming. And so I think it was Laura Lee Miller at the time somehow got names, recruited Max McCaw and myself, and asked if we would help train and help coach the young kids in competitive swimming. And I think Max had some college experience at Drake. I'd had a little bit of college experience at Iowa. And so we thought it'd be fun. The problem is the lessons started at, usually they started the first series of lessons at 8:30 or 9. So Max and I would have these kids over there at 6:30 or 7 in the morning. And there were days it would be 60 degrees. And we would make the kids, they worked. I mean, they showed up every day. They didn't care what it was, and it was just fun.
Serving as both a social hangout and a summer home for general wellness, the pool has been the place where hundreds of kids have learned to swim.
The kids really wanted to learn. To have a swimming pool in Geneseo and to learn how to swim, you know, this was awesome.
People donated hours out of their life to make this field, this hole in the ground, this pouring of concrete in blocks into a safe place to go and celebrate life together.
You know, there would be times that we'd be swimming in low 70-degree water, and your lips would be blue, and you'd lay on the concrete with your arms spread out, just trying to absorb any heat that you could. And then once your body was back up to unfrozen, you'd be right back in the water.
Well, it's certainly an important part of the town. There are kids from all over coming in. There are kids from Atkinson, kids from Cambridge, kids from Pupil, kids from all over are coming in there to swim.
Equipment wears out, and that's what we're talking about now. Equipment that's worn out. Time to replace it. And it comes to that point, I think, where the Park District's made a very wise decision. It no longer makes sense to put money into maintenance. Now it makes sense to put those resources into replacement.
On a hot summer day, with the sun beating down, and diving under the water, and letting out some of your breath so that you could sit on the bottom, and hear the sounds of children laughing, and Todd Sieben jumping off of the high board, and looking up and seeing the blue sky, and knowing that you were safe and happy, and that for that one moment, you were magically perfect.
For the past 6 decades, the Geneseo City Pool has served us. The outdoor pool has been a community project through cost, design, and renovations. Help us ensure the pool is an enjoyable asset for generations to come.